Hey guys, Filthy here. This is how to beat ghouls, nachos, scrubs, whatever you want to call them. The ghoul variant in Battle Brothers. So there's a couple interesting things. These are another fairly early game fight. Mid to late game, they're not so scary. I may show you a clip of a late game fight of these a little bit later, where it's a little bit scary, but not that bad. There are some interesting things to do with this fight. This fight comes in basically one of two varieties, these guys alone or these guys with zombies. You will face these in the early game. Their loot is okay. You do get resolved trinkets out of them, but it's not a particularly exciting bit of loot. You do get some other crafted items out of them, but there's no direct armor or weapon upgrades, which means they are a fairly low reward fight. So there's not necessarily a lot of reasons to take this fight that often. The types of weapons you want in this fight are the types of weapons you use versus unarmored opponents. Things like swords, cleavers, spears. Spears are not there necessarily for the damage they do, although they're fine damage versus unarmored types. Spears are there for the huge accuracy bonus. In the early game, you use a lot of spears because your brother's accuracy is really garbage. And thrust, which is the basic spear attack, has plus 20 attack. Spear wall is actually your friend in this fight as well, since these enemies do overrun you and swarm you. So spear wall can be quite good. Archers are a bit of a liability in this fight. They're not particularly strong versus this enemy type, and they can screw you. Be careful when you're using archers prior to these things engaging you directly, that you only wound and not kill. If you kill ghouls in the back rank, the other back rank ghouls will eat. So if I killed this ghoul that I have highlighted right now with an archer, the ghouls behind it will eat that guy and become bigger and more dangerous. So we don't want that. So just wound. So be careful where you shoot with your archer fire. Wounding them prior to them engaging is good. It means you can kill them all at once, which can be very, very helpful. I like shields on the ends. Unlike dire wolves, I don't think you have to have shields everywhere for these guys. They do a fair amount of damage in early game. You may take some losses due to that, but that's just how it goes in Battle Brothers. And the rough goal for these is, you can see me wounding them here, is to break their morale. That's the most efficient way to deal with this. One of the other things you can do, you see me using spear wall to my advantage here. One of the other things you can do is to control the corpses by standing on them. So in the next little bit here, they're going to move in and engage. And you can see as I try to zone a control to make it so they can't get to their corpses. So I'll walk forward to stand on corpse tiles. I will spear wall to protect corpse tiles, and I'm slowly moving forward across the pace of a battle. Shield wall on the ends if you can to keep them alive. Focus fire what you can. Maces are decent in this fight too. They don't do amazing damage versus targets you care about, but stunning the ones that have grown too big can be very, very powerful. So tier 2 maces or just even any type of mace weapon is fine. The flails aren't great here, but it's all I had available for it. The pikes or whatever, the hammer's not that great either. The types of weapons you want are going to be flesh-based damage. Remember to focus fire as much as possible. These things do have crappy morale, so if you can break them, you can get nice panic trains that will turn the fight totally in your favor. Again, this is another early game fight. You're likely to take losses, and you're not always going to take losses. You can choose which people are going to die by their relative positioning. The corners are much more dangerous. You can choose to put people, a lot of times you use people as human sacrifices. Like you protect the more valuable brothers by putting the weaker brothers or the brothers that you're less likely to care about leveling in more vulnerable positions to protect the people you care about. You can see here I'm trying to focus both the ones that are going to get a bigger tier as well as the ones at low resolve levels to break them, and you can save people that way. You can do this with fairly low gear. This is a little bit of a gear check in the sense that they will attack you. They're fast enough that they're going to get in and attack you. If you put a brother in a bad position with bad gear in this fight, they will die. That's just how it works out. But overall, protect the corpses. If you do see them transform into tier 3, like up north there, hope that you have some ability to stun them, because if you don't stun them, they will overrun you. Remember to use all of the morale check advantages to your advantage by moving next to them, by repeatedly attacking them, by killing wounded ones that will help panic the existing ones. The big ones are actually okay to deal with. They're a little bit less scary than the tier 2 ones, honestly. The tier 3 ones will eat a brother, and that's a big deal later. In the early game, your brothers are so bad that it's actually kind of okay. It's one round where they don't attack you, and it gives you basically 2 full rounds to focus them. And they're not so tanky that they will survive a couple rounds of focus fire. Just be careful of focus firing ghouls that are standing on active corpses, because if you leave a ghoul at like low health and it still has the morale to act, it can eat a corpse to gain full health, even if it's already tier 3. So it's really important to be aware of what the enemy ghouls are standing on, as so again, controlling the corpses is basically a big theme of this fight. If you have the choice of what to bring, one-handed weapons, two-handed weapons are both fine here. There's no poison effects, so you're not going to run into issues with action points. Some shields are okay, but you do want a fair amount of damage. Cleave attacks are all right, but not ideal, because you will kill a lot of the tier 1 ones, but killing a bunch of tier 1 ones just ends up making a bunch of tier 2 ones. So you do want to control those corpses more than you want to direct kill them, although killing them rapidly for breaking their morale is very, very good. I'll show you just another one of these clips while we're looking at it here. I think we have a fairly late game one. So late game, you might see something like this, where we're looking at, let's see. Yeah, like a huge number of converted tier 3s already. This fight is a much later game for us. I went into this thinking this would be an insanely easy fight because we have a fairly decent late game crew, although not perfect armor. This becomes a kind of interesting fight as well because there's so many tier 3 ones that will eat your brothers. So it's a little bit about just repeatedly focus firing. Be careful, ghouls can run away with one of your brothers eaten already. They can run away with, if you break their morale and he's not adjacent to one of your brothers and he has a brother in his stomach, he can run off the field with your brother and cost you your troops. So be careful with that. But this fight, I'll probably leave this one just playing as this happens, can be pretty fun too. So you can see the weapons I like the most in here. The swords and the cleavers are really good here. Archers are okay in the late game for this. They do a fair amount of damage when they're accurate and running like war bows or something like that. But in the early game, they're very bad in this fight. And even then, the problem is here, there's so many tier 3 ones that they can disable half my group by eating them. Indomitable does not protect you from being eaten, unfortunately. The only thing that basically protects you from being eaten is stun. So, stunning them would be good, but we don't have any stuns available here, so this is just like a pure DPS. And again, you see me moving up, stepping on the corpses as much as I can to prevent them from eating. The tier 3 ones are already tier 3, so I don't care quite as much about those, but these tier 2 ones, I really don't want them becoming tier 3. You can also use corpses to bait, which is nice. If the enemy is far enough away, they will run to the corpse, like these little ones did, and you can kill them. This is very good if you fight the mix of ghouls plus zombies. Because often the ghouls after turn 2 will come forward looking for the zombie corpses. And as long as the zombie corpses are adjacent to your guys and you watch the turn order, you can get it so that they run in at the end of their turn and where you still have attacks available and you can kill them before they convert, which makes that a very easy fight. So that one north there is a little bit scary because my brother is in that guy, and if he runs, he would run with my brother, which would be no good. Anyways, guys, hopefully this was helpful. Fairly early game fight again. Late game, you can see that when you have decent brothers with decent attacks, it's not that bad, even when there's a huge number of them. It's just in the early game, you run the chance of being overrun. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Didn't see what we're facing before we engaged it at night with archers. 14 scrub-a-dubs. We're using the wrong weapons for this fight. Oh, it's a good way to get triple P killed. It's a lot. Nighttime too, so shitty accuracy on all of our brothers. As opposed to normal when they have such good accuracy. I'm sure the spear walls will hold. Just kidding. One roll each, except the bottom guy. I got no rolls. We're fucked. Need to break them in the first 2 rounds. Gonna be a brutal round. Sully just got wrecked. That's minus melee defense, so he may live this round, but he's dead. He's dead 100% right now. Double misses to start us off. That's at least good. Let's do damage here when we can. That needs to die so I can get my archer back. There's no way he lives around. God, these hits. I think Nobu's probably dead too. We'll see. It's not even these hits, it's this lack of hits. If we killed this, these two break. Oh, that's a triple size. It's bad news. Oh, it gets to heal and go to fucking high morale now? That's so bad. That's very good 2 attacks there. Could have been self-rescue. Come on, kill it. That one as it runs, please. Pretty close to breaking these. Try to buy some attacks here. Nobu and Sully dead. That's very good. Second swing, that sucks. Well, we lost a very good cultist bannerman, and that sucks. The Mega was okay. Triple P was supposed to die. Lost the 110 helm. 110 helm came back. Pike came back. I don't know. It's not any. None of those are losses that big of a deal loss wise in of themselves. so long as we can actually stabilize the income, which doesn't seem very stable right now. Do we really have to fight this? It'd be totally pointless if the scout location didn't actually, you know, scout. Out of 200 shields? Or out of kite shields? No. Cart weighs 10 tons. Well, it's good to know. Where's the other finished archer? He's in here right now. Yeah, you don't belong in this fight. As much as I would like you to be in there. Okay. I'd say like Lone Wolf would be good in this fight, but he just gets eaten, right? Yes, why would they not spawn on high ground? That's a lot of tier 3 scrubs. I count 6 already? The fuck? Seven. I'm taking this as a leveling fight. Let's hope I don't regret it. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. God damn. Considering so much of this strategy is about not letting them convert to tier 3, I don't know what the fuck you do when they're already tier 3 and they just eat 8 of your guys. Feels like it's going to be kind of bad news. I don't think it's damage over time, Solly. It doesn't seem to be dependent on how many turns you stay in there. It just seems to be like a amount of damage you take for having been eaten. Should be able to get some huge morale checks on him this turn. Unless, you know, my guy up here panics for no reason. All right. Annoyed that didn't kill.
A new subscriber arrives.
Thanks, Die Kong.
You with determination.
Kind of tempted to go first here and try for 2 more of those. All my archers is an issue. The fact he still goes first with double and eats my guy is a huge fucking problem. Like, how do I get these guys back exactly? Oh yes, now you're fleeing. That will help. There we go. There's a guy in there. You can't run. God, that's such a bullshit ability. It's too many checks to get there. Can I have him running off with my teammate? It's not reasonable. Have to hold that guy in place so he doesn't... what do you think here? Would have been nice if that killed. Why did that panic my guys when we killed that? I think I just hit my own guy there. What the fuck just happened there? Can someone like clip that and tell me what the hell just happened? Why would the proc hit my guys? Doesn't normally hit my guys. I didn't hit him. I can't attack my own guys. It's not a matter of I hit him. It's not possible.